Your right hand will hold me fast. Basically, he's saying, I will never let you go. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. That night will shine like the day. For darkness is as light to you. Amen? Yes. And verse 23 and 24, search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts, my worrying thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me. Lead me. Lead me in the way everlasting. Again, God is everywhere. He knows us. He loves us. He's so concerned about us. That's why He decided to stay permanently with us in our hearts. That's why even if we run away and hide from Him, we can't really hide from God. That's what it means. We can ignore Him, but He will never leave. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. Amen. Why? Because He's so concerned about us that He wants to guide us. He wants to lead us. He wants to take us to His purpose. Amen. That's why in this passage, I want to say that He will guide us by His glorious light. I said He will guide you by His glorious light. In John 10, verse 3 to 4. John 10, verse 3 to 4. The watchman opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. I have a question. Are you sheep? Okay, there's only about 35 sheep here. Don't forget, He is the shepherd of our souls. Are you His sheep? And there's almost 200 sheep. If He is so concerned and He knows us, definitely He will always be there for us. And definitely He wants to guide you. Amen? That's why He wants to speak to you. I want to let you know that God talks. I said God talks. He has a mouth. He has a tongue. Oh no! God talks. Can God talk? Are you silly? He created your mouth and your tongue. Of course He can talk. Some people are so silly. When people start telling them, you know, the Lord spoke to me, you are so crazy. How can God talk? Are you silly? God can create the whole universe. He can definitely talk, can't He? Right? So when God speaks, don't be surprised. He is God. God can do anything He wants. So don't be naive and kind of be surprised when God speaks to other people. The only reason you don't hear Him because you don't listen enough. Because you don't want to really hear His voice. Look. He wants to guide you. will speak through the still small voice. He speaks through dreams and visions. Even up to now. You read the Bible. See how God will speak to the people in the Bible through their dreams, through their visions. God doesn't change. He still does it today. All you have to do is just listen enough. That's why our church is a prophetic church. A church that listens to the voice of God. So when there are prophetic classes, I want you to attend. Okay? So we can train you in listening to God's voice. Because most of the time, we don't hear His voice, we only hear His our desires. Hello? I always say this. I don't know if you heard this, but most of you probably heard this. You know, I lived in Australia for 5 years. And you know, in Australia, there are more sheep than people. Okay? So one day I went out with some of my friends out there in the country. They call it the bush. And I saw some shepherds at work. But they weren't on horses. They had a four-wheel drive, you know, riding the four-wheel drive. And one of the guys stood up, and there were like thousands of sheep over there. And he goes, you know, went like that. And the thousands, they just started to move all at the same time. And then stop. And when I saw that, I would go, oh my gosh. Wow. Ang tindi mo na. Never seen anything like that. You know, it's just, why? Because they heard the shepherd's voice. So they move along with the voice of the shepherd. Because the shepherd wanted to guide them. Amen? So, God is like that with us. So today, when a lot of Christians, when God does this, they go the other way. Because they only want to follow their flesh. They never really want to listen to the Spirit of God. Because it's harder really. The way of the Spirit is harder. But it's better. Amen? His ways are better. His ways are higher than our ways. We think we know better for ourselves, but actually God knows best because He knows us better than we know ourselves. Amen. So you better listen to His voice. Amen. God speaks. Sometimes He speaks so loud. I had some people way back then. He will speak through situations. He allows problems in our lives sometimes to speak to us because He tries to speak to us in dreams, in visions. We never listen. Years back, there was this guy fell in love with a girl in the church. And then I said, okay, you really love this girl? Yeah, okay. Okay, so you guys they got married. You know, after they got married, I didn't see them in church for a whole year. And they came to me for counseling. So what happened? Oh, we just all got busy with our business. Oh, that's no good. You gotta go back. Oh, yes, we will. You know, they got in their car. They left, and about 2 blocks away, they hit this electric pole, smashed the car. Next Sunday, they're in church. You have to wait for something like that before you go to church. Because God's already been speaking. Don't let that happen. Listen to His voice. Amen? God will guide us through His voice, through the prophetic word, through the rhema, but definitely the main way that He speaks through all of us is through His word. The Bible. In Psalm 119, verse 105, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path. That's Psalm 119,